Știu.
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 Știu. Știu.
Salut, sunteți la ZFL, sunt Cristian Husu și astăzi vom discuta despre ce mai este nou pe piața de Executive MBA din România, iar în a doua parte a emisiunii discuție despre planurile de dezvoltare și de extindere în România a rețelei Magnor. Înainte să intrăm în legătură cu primii invitați de astăzi, ziarul financiar de astăzi, vedeți aici, vedeți imediat pe ecran. Ieri, acțiunile Băncii Transilvania au urcat la un maxim istoric după o apreciere, deci după o creștere de 27% de la începutul acestui an. De cealaltă parte, cealaltă acțiune de la bursă din categoria din BET, respectiv acțiunile BRD, au un maxim din 2022 încoace. Acțiunile BRD au un plus de 11,6%, iar spre comparație, pentru toată piața, indicele bursier principal BET a urcat cu 14%. După 20 de ani de prezență în România, BRD Finance își va înceta activitatea. BRD Finance, care este divizia de credite de consum a BRD Socien, este în proces de vânzare a întregului portofol de credite. O altă știre din ziarul financiar, brandul românesc Luca, cu 140 de magazine în țară, merge la Varșovia, deci în Polonia, și deschide o simigerie. Adrian Căzu, benvenut. Există producători italieni care au închis fabricile din România și l-au mutat în țări unde costul salarial este mai mic. Cristina Verșere, CEO al OMV Petrom, tranziția spre green nu se va produce peste noapte, așa că până în 2030 vom vedea în continuare o cerere solidă pentru combustibilii tradiționali. Rudiger Deni, șeful fondului de investiții NELL Rocastel, unul cei mai mari jucători pe piața de mall-uri din România. În Europa de Vest, retail-ul a ieșit din criza pandemiei și a intrat direct în cea a dobânzilor mari, a fost furtuna perfectă. În schimb, în Europa Centrală și de Est, inclusiv în România, mall-urile și-au revenit mult mai repede. Și cât de jos se mai poate duce industria României, un sector care înseamnă 20% din PIB. Vedeți aici ce ne trage în jos, principale 5 sectoare care scad în industrie: produsele textile cu aproape 13%, fabricarea produselor farmaceutice cu un minus de 18%, articole de îmbrăcăminte cu minus 21%, repararea și instalarea mașinilor și echipamentelor cu 22% și industria încălțămintei 28%. Toate aceste sectoare au un numitor comun, costul salarial. Mergem acum la primii invitați de astăzi, care sunt prin Zoom. Ce mai este nou pe piața de Executive MBA din România? O discuție cu Adriana GEORGESCU, Program Manager la Executive MBA Bucharest, Vienna University, și Phillip NELL, director academic Executive MBA la programul din București de la Vienna University. Adriana, Phillip, hello, how are you?
Hello, hi.
Thank you very much that you are at ZF Live. How is your life? Adriana, how is your life?
Hello, thank you for having us. Everything is good. Preparing for the end of our promotion with Ziarul Financiar for the scholarship that we're offering. So quite busy in the last few days.
Yeah, any crisis in education, in higher education, Phillip?
No, no real crisis.
No crisis, no?
No, it's very clear. I mean, the world keeps on changing. I wouldn't call it a crisis, but I mean, we have, for example, artificial intelligence coming in, and that's very, very exciting. And I think this is also something that we are tackling in our MBA programs.
So, because you talk about artificial intelligence, how this AI will impact the higher education? I mean, the MBA courses and so on the long term.
I don't know for sure what exactly this will mean in the long term on the technology side. What I can tell you from my experience in the Executive MBA Bucharest program, but also in other MBA programs that we're offering in Vienna, is that we have, of course, artificial intelligence as a core topic that pops up in a lot of our courses. be it, for example, in marketing or in strategy courses, in leadership courses. But so far, the clear preference of our MBA students is that we have the courses run themselves in a pretty normal way, just that we add artificial intelligence as content points. What does happen, however, here and there is that we are particularly allowing and encouraging the students to use artificial intelligence when they're working on different types of assignments within the context of our modules.
And the information and the result, it's accurate?
It's as accurate as if you let it do some other person, right? So sometimes it's very good, sometimes it's not good at all, sometimes it's total nonsense. But the key point that we are stressing is you have to learn how to deal with artificial intelligence. There's a couple of things that these systems can do incredibly well, and we need to know which ones we use, for which kind of tasks we use artificial intelligence, and for which ones we don't use them because we are better off doing something else.
Philip, do you think in the, let's say, in the next year, next decade, this AI will replace the physical teacher? Will replace you?
It's a very good question. As I said, so far I don't see this. Yeah, and I'm also, connected to some of the leading scholars in the field. I do not think that this will come quickly. However, it will have an impact on a lot of activities. For example, on assignments, on grading, on tutoring and exercise elements within the different types of courses. Just to give you one example, it will be very easy to come up with very good simulations for your content that the students can go through independently with the help of an AI tutor. But as I said again, so far I do not see within the next 5 to 10 years that the situation in the classroom will change massively.
So you'll have a job next 10 years?
Yes.
Yes.
At the very least, also we have to explain what artificial intelligence is doing to the world, right? So that's clear.
Okay, Adriana, we have this program with you since 2009 or 8.
The program in Bucharest is running from 2006, but our cooperation started in 2009.
Okay, what is new in this cooperation?
We offer the same amount of scholarship that we offered last year. We offer 7 scholarships, and the total amount of scholarship is 115,000 euros. And I think it's working well, so why change something that worked well for so many years?
Okay, this year, how many people will graduate the program? And for the next year, how many people do you think will apply? Will apply and will go with the Executive MBA Vienna University?
So this year we had the graduation last month, and we had 38 people graduating. This
38?
was our largest. Yeah, this was
the largest
our
cohort, I think, in all the history, yeah?
Yes, this is correct. And
How comes? How comes?
I-
Because it started in when the war started in 2022.
It started in 2022. Yeah, it was a high demand. Also during pandemic, we had classes of 33, and our largest one was in 2002, started in 2022. We have no explanation really why this happened. It's totally opposite actually with what happened in Vienna for the same programs. I guess we are a different market, and the expectations and what people try to apply to during a crisis, an economical, a war, they're totally in opposition with other people, with other countries.
Okay, so this year we'll start another team.
Yes, we'll
Okay.
start another program in November, yes.
Okay, do you have a limited number of people who can attend this program?
Yeah, actually in 2022 we put our limit to 39, and that was our limit. We could have had a larger class, And I think this will be the limit, up to 39. But we'll see if we reach that number again.
Okay.
But so far it looks good. I mean, we have more interest from the companies. I'm in discussion with a few companies that plan to send some of the employees, and it looks good this year. So
It's also a good year.
It looks like so far, but the final deadline of the application probably it will be at the end of the summer.
Okay, can you tell us what is the ideal candidate for you who can come with to take an executive MBA and why?
Philip, do you want to answer this?
Yes, I can.
Okay, Philip.
In principle, there's lots of very good candidates. We don't have this one particular narrow type that we are searching for. What we're looking for is people that are really ambitious, growth oriented, that have a very strong level of experience already, because it's an executive MBA, which means our people are on average something like 38 years old and have 10 years on average, something like this of experience. And we're looking specifically also, because this is a generalistic MBA that goes through lots of different economic and business topics, we are searching for someone who's not interested necessarily in one very narrow specific area. So if you're just interested in, for example, just in finance or just in sustainability, then this is probably not the right program for you. And finally, people that are profiting most from our programs are people that have a very specific, very detailed technical role or topic-oriented role. For example, they're deep down clearly in a good up-and-coming middle management position, for example, in finance or in IT or in computer science, or as a medical affairs manager in a pharmaceutical company, something like this, and is on the way up towards a general management position. And for these kind of types, we're offering a very good package. Okay,
every time it's a discussion between people who come from entrepreneurship, and want to be an entrepreneur, and the people who are, let's say, director, manager in a company and don't want to be an entrepreneur, want to be CEO, CFO, COO, and something like that.
Yes. So just to repeat what I just said beforehand. So our program is not a program which is specialized on, that you become an entrepreneur. Right? At the same time, however, we are a generalistic program, which means we're going through the most fundamental, most important aspects of business, which enable you also to have an entrepreneurial career, but also to go for a managerial career later on. After all, also from a scientific perspective, there's not that much difference anymore between what you call entrepreneurship and maybe intrapreneurship within a firm, where you also have to be proactive and very entrepreneurial in the way how you deal with problems, solve problems, and try to bring the company forward. So to this end, our generalistic program serves very well both types of people, those that are interested in entrepreneurship careers or those that are interested in senior management careers afterwards. And we're doing this very well in a generalistic way.
If you compare the curricula between right now and what was the curricula 10 years ago or 15 years ago, what is the difference?
Well, very, very good question, because this is something that I, as the academic director, I'm constantly, of course, thinking about of how to adapt the program, right? And the interesting thing is, if you look at the individual modules that we have, so marketing and finance and accounting and strategy and so on, then the module names themselves, most of them have not really changed over the last 10, 15 years. And that would also be, that would be strange, because, I mean, these are the most important building blocks. Then, these don't change. What has changed, however, is the content within these building blocks, right? So, for example, in strategy, marketing, or finance, 10, 15 years ago, we did not have a discussion about artificial intelligence, or we did not have a discussion about ESG and sustainability. And nowadays, of course, those two macro trends, just to name two here, those two macro trends are clearly embedded in every single module, right? Be it in finance, be it in accounting, be it in strategy, or be it in leadership. So we are taking care, and our professors are taking care of the most important trends, of the critical issues, and we are implementing them step by step on an ongoing way in all the different modules.
You change curricula every year or every 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, depending what's happened in the market. As you
Yes,
mentioned,
correct.
10 years ago, nobody talks about artificial intelligence. Now, right now, all the people talk about that.
Exactly, yes. And I can tell you all the professors are thinking about and are changing, aspects and elements within their modules. So just to give you one example, I'm taking care of the strategic management module within the program, and I have, of course, have a much longer session now, discussion, cases, exercises, focusing on artificial intelligence and strategic problem solving.
Okay. Right now, if you look at your students, they are interested in what field particularly? You mentioned that you prefer to have a general view on the market, no specific finance, marketing, IT, and so on. Right now, the Romanian students, they are interested in what field? And for what reason?
Our students, so at the moment and so far, and I think also in the future, are interested in this general view, right? Because, if you're becoming a much more senior leader in your field, whatever it is, if you're working for a pharmaceutical firm, a bank, or a manufacturing firm, or so on, you need to have a generalistic senior point of view, which doesn't only look at one's very specific and narrow industry perspective or just one specific narrow function specific perspective. You need to look to the left and to the right. You need to understand how other industries work. You need to understand how other functions work and so on. This is exactly what we're covering.
Okay, if you have an executive MBA diploma, you can apply to all the position?
Yes. In principle, yes. Yeah, it's a generalistic MBA on the executive level. So it's clear, and we're signaling this both in terms of the title, but also in terms of the content, that this is on a very senior level.
And you can apply for all the position in the world?
In principle, yes. Yeah, of course, the executive MBA is just one element in your CV, and there are lots of other things in your CV that might have an impact on if you are fitting to a certain job opportunity or not. But in principle, yes, right? And we do have examples in our program. We have people that have moved abroad afterwards, or during the program, even people going to India, people going to Luxembourg, people going to Austria, for example. But also people staying within Romania, staying within their firm and having a much better, much more interesting role, 1-2 years after the MBA.
Okay. If you talk to your students, what is the reason for them to take an executive MBA? For what? For increase the salary, to apply to a higher position, to be an entrepreneur. Why?
There's usually several reasons, right? It's not just one single one. Usually also it's a combination of reasons, but you're mentioning, the most important one. The most important one is that they want to get ahead in terms of their knowledge and thereby their confidence also regarding senior management or entrepreneurial roles, and thereby also enabling them to get towards the next step. In the end, you have to also understand pursuing an executive MBA is, of course, not an easy undertaking. There's quite some workload and so on, but this is also a very clear signal in the end towards the current or future employers, right? You're signaling that you're very ambitious, you're signaling that you want to be at the edge of the current knowledge, and that enables you really then to grow also then later on.
Adriana, how much is right now on executive MBA, Vienna University?
Yeah, the program right now, it's we kept the price from last year. It's still 42,000 euros, but
42.
not a scholarship.
Okay,
Yeah,
42,000 euro For
We
2
offer
years.
scholarships besides the ones that we're offering together with Iar Financiar. We also offer scholarships up to 35% of the tuition fee, and we have a special budget for female leaders, and we encourage females to come back to school and follow our program. And of course, we offer also the opportunity of paying in installments during the program, so they can split the cost within the 3 fiscal years that they are participating to the program.
Okay. How many women apply to and take this executive MBA? What is the proportion between female and men?
We're actually lucky last November when we started the last program because last year we started with, last November, we started with 24 students, and half of our students are female. So we had a good number.
Okay. And how many people postpone the program and decided not to take the program because the timing, you have to learn a lot, they don't have money, different reason?
Last year, from the 39 that we had accepted in the program, we only had one who postponed the program.
Okay.
Otherwise, people usually, they start the program, I mean, there are different reasons for a woman that, I don't know, she's welcoming a child in her life and that will prevent her from coming to school every month, or they get a job abroad and they cannot travel, I don't know, from a long distance. But what is good is that they have 8 semesters to finish the program, so up to 4 years. They don't lose the money. They can come back in the program at a later date when they are prepared. Also, if they are missing a module while the program is running in Bucharest, they can go to Vienna and retake that module. So we find solutions for everyone who has an issue for a long term or a short term.
Okay.
Yeah, if I may add here
Please.
something.
Yes.
I don't know if you're, yeah. If I may add, so of course, you know, the world has become a bit more volatile, and therefore we are very proud that we can offer this flexibility, right? Because of course, as you rightly said, so there's lots of things that, you know, might happen. You know, it might be that you're changing job already during the program. It might be that, you know, a child is coming. It might be all kinds of other reasons. And we are flexible in this regard, and we help our participants to go through the program and to pause the program and to, you know, pick it up a bit later or something like this. We always find solutions.
Okay. What about the professors? They are European, Austrian, German, France, American.
Yeah, very, very good question. I think we are one of the, you know, one of the few programs in the market where we are clearly having the strategy to say, one, we only have international professors. So all our professors are coming from abroad, and second, we are recruiting them from top universities. So not only the Vienna University of Economics and Business, but also from universities in the United States, in Israel, in Germany, in Spain, and together we really have a fantastic group of professionals that are delivering the program in Romania, and I'm very proud of this team.
Okay. How many professors do you run in a, let's say, in a program, 2 years?
We have in total, it's not a 2-year program in total, which it's much shorter, it's much more efficient. So we are somewhere 16 months long, the program, and everything is of course part-time. So all our participants are doing their regular jobs on the side. And in those 16 months, we are running 14 modules, which means we have approximately 14 professors. It's not exactly one module per professor. There's one module where we have 2 professors, stuff like this, but approximately 14, 15 professors every year.
The students can have a preference who will be their teacher?
No, unfortunately here we do not offer flexibility. Together with Adriana, we are working long term to secure the best professors in towards the program. We are luring them towards Bucharest and Romania. We are usually getting them because we tell them that the Romanian crowd is such a great crowd to teach. It's really fun to teach. It's a very nice and good atmosphere because people are so learning oriented and so are ambitious. And you know, with these motivational pitches, we get the good professors, but we get them a bit more in advance so that we can plan and they can plan. Because if we don't do this, these good professors will be off the market. So no, we don't offer flexibility, but I think it's good that we don't offer this because that means we get the best professors.
Okay, Adriana, can you talk about the program, when the lesson will be, how difficult is to, you know, to take a holiday from your job to come here?
Okay, so the program, like Phillip said, it's 16 months long. We start every year in November and we finish in April 2 years later, calendaristic years later. The modules are usually 4 days from Thursday to Sunday every 5 weeks. So people can still go to their regular jobs. And of course, we have a month off in August or July or August, so people can still spend time with families during the program. In terms of hours they need to spend to prepare, the feedback is they need to prepare about 1 hour per day before each module and 1 hour per day before the module, so they can do their assignments.
So only 1 hour per day to prepare?
Yeah,
yes. Only 1 hour?
Yeah. Only about 1 hour. Of course, if we have a financial module and people are coming from the finance area, they will spend less time. Of course, if we have an IT person who needs to prepare a module for accounting, then he will spend more time. But in principle, they need to spend about 15 to 20 hours within 2 weeks. So that's how we
it's
calculate
reasonable.
it, about 1 hour. Yeah.
Okay, Phillip, you mentioned that the average year for the students in 38, 39. Okay, what was the youngest student?
Oh, to be honest, I do not know, but what
Adriana?
I do remember is that we have very young, some very young people sometimes in the program, but we only accept them into the program if they have a fantastic career and track record. So just to give you the example, many years ago, for example, the CEO and founder of DCS Plus, Christian Dinka, I think he was at that time something like, I don't know, 31 years old or something like this. We took him into the program because, of course, he was already an entrepreneur. His business had 100 plus employees. He was making millions already in sales, also outside of Romania, internationally. And that was, of course, a fantastic profile. And then we said, yes, with so much experience, we take also younger students.
Okay.
Yeah, if I may add, I think the youngest was like 28, 29 years old, but already had 5 years of managerial experience, which is one of our mandatory requests.
Okay, 5 years manager experience.
Yes, so they can be also team manager, project manager, budget manager, department manager, entrepreneurial. Of course, depending of the job, how do you? Sorry.
Okay. Phillip.
Depending of the jobs, for example, an architect, maybe he cannot have 5 years of managerial experience, or a doctor who plans to be hospital manager. Maybe he doesn't have 5 years of managerial experience, but we are taking into consideration all the special cases when
Okay.
people are applying.
Adriana, if you remember, did we have one doctor, a medical doctor, who take an MBA?
Yes, we had several.
Several?
Yes.
And what was the reason?
They wanted to become managers of hospitals, or even in the last class, we had someone who graduated medicine, but in the end, they decided to go on a different career path.
Okay.
With a family business.
Phillip, what is the difference between Vienna Executive MBA and Harvard, name it, Wharton?
Yeah, very, very good question, because this is, of course, something that Adriana and I are looking at a lot, and we are screening regularly the world's top programs in Harvard and in INSEAD and Kellogg and whatever it is. And of course, I mean, a lot of these programs are absolutely top notch. There's absolutely no question. What we are trying to achieve is a very specific positioning in the market, which is very unique and which very much fits to the situation in the region in Romania and maybe surrounding countries. Our strategy and our positioning is the following. First, we try to have top-notch program very, very similar to the content that Harvard or INSEAD and so on would have. Actually, we have to some extent professors from such schools. So the worldwide, one of the best schools in executive MBAs is este Business School, for example, in Barcelona. And we do have professors from este Barcelona also for the program Bucharest. The second point is that we don't only have top-notch international professors, but also top-notch, not only top-notch international content, but also top-notch international professors from these schools. So the content also reflects, to a large extent, what we see in the best programs around the world. However, and now comes the difference, what is very different compared to Harvard? First, we are mainly in Romania. We are teaching here in Bucharest, right, for 12 out of the 14 modules. So it's a location aspect. Second, our participants are mainly from Romania or the region, so some surrounding countries, which gives a very good, a very unique network and alumni effect. So our people are from Bucharest, from Romania, from Moldova, from Bulgaria, and so on, and then that's very coherent and cohesive in that sense. And third, and I'm very proud of this, we are able to allow to offer this program at a much cheaper price than what you would have to pay at Harvard, IESE, or London Business School. Just to give you the idea, if you're doing an executive MBA at, for example, let's say Oxford, it easily costs you 130, 140, 150,000 euro. And obviously here we are offering our program with the same content, with the same professors to some extent, at a much lower price, at a third of these costs.
Adriana, until 2006, until now, how many people graduate Vienna Executive MBA?
453.
153.
400.
400, sorry, 400.
Yeah.
And right now, do you follow their career to where every time where they work, for what company, what is their position?
Yes, of course, we are following their career path, and we are also writing in our local newspaper, like the university newspaper, nice articles with their achievements.
Okay, and from these more than 400, how many become a billionaire?
In which currency?
I know, even in Romania.
I think we have very successful graduates.
Okay, for the students, it's about the education, it's about the diploma, or in the end it's about the money. I invest in me 42,000 euro, or if I take a scholarship with Vienna University and Ziarul Financiar will be half, and okay, I cover my this money in 2 years. What is their reason?
They have different reasons. Like Phillip said earlier, you can be advancing within their career, sometimes to change from a multinational to entrepreneurship. Sometimes it's networking. Sometimes it's just a refresh to their knowledge. Sometimes it's new knowledge or seeing different options to the solving problems that they saw until before the program. And I think all of the things above are making them come in the program.
Okay.
And of course, all of the people that are coming, they want to develop professionally.
To develop their career. Okay. And Philip, you are also a teacher in this program?
Yes, correct.
And what is your specialty?
My specialty, my module is called strategies. I'm discussing strategic management, strategic decision making of firms.
Okay. All the people wants to be a strategic thinker.
Yeah, well, I have to say that, of course, I'm very convinced that this is an important topic. In the end, of course, firms cannot just survive and be very highly successful if they make, a lot of short-term firefighting kind of decisions. But if there's a bit more strategic thinking, a bit more on the longer term, thinking about the key value that the firm is offering to the clients and how this offer can be organized and can be operated. I think these are key questions, and that's why we're having a strategy module.
Okay. If you look at the Romanian students, what are the strengths of them, okay, and the weakness?
I already mentioned it very quickly. The interesting thing is, and I'm really talking here from experience as I'm teaching also in other programs in Vienna, but also in other programs abroad, be it, for example, in Copenhagen Business School or in Germany or so. And I can really say, our participants are, really, when they come together in their groups in our program, this is a fantastic group. There's so much ambition. There's so much willingness to develop and to learn, and to be open to different opinions and ideas across different functions and career backgrounds that all the other people might have. And that is really outstanding. This is much better and much more interesting to teach in the Romanian program than to teach in other programs. Because just to give you the example, if you talk to a group of German people, Germany is in a very different situation. They have achieved much more. It's an overall much richer country, but it's also more, the country overall, it's a bit more complacent. It's a bit slower. It's not so growth and oriented and not so ambitious. And that somehow translates into how the students work and participate and interact within the courses. And for all those reasons, the Bucharest MBA participants, that's really outstanding. These are key strengths, and this tops everything. So I wouldn't even go into thinking about which are their weaknesses, because that first point, the key strength, this is even the most important one.
Okay, first is ambition. Second, 3, quality.
Learning orientation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the
openness
third?
towards different types of opinions.
Okay. And on the other side, the weakness?
I have difficulties really pinpointing clear weaknesses. I really don't see many. If there's one, maybe a little bit, I would say that we have a number of students that have relatively narrow middle management roles at the very beginning of the program, which is, by the way, the reason why they're also looking for a program like ours. And that means that they have a bit limited experience in cross functions or in different industries or different countries. But as I said, this is not a real weakness, because that becomes then obsolete within the course of the program very quickly. And at the end of the program, we have fantastic profiles coming out.
Okay, Adriana, if you look back, what is the best cohort in all this year?
I think you're asking me this like you would ask a mother to say which child she loves more. It's a difficult question, and I think all my cohorts are special, and I get to grow connections with them, with all of them, but probably, I'm probably the most attached with my first cohort that I recruited, 2011, when I joined the university.
So at the beginning, 2011.
Yeah, it was like the first baby.
The first baby. Look,
yeah.
Adriana, Phillip, thank you very much for your discussion.
Thank you.
I will ask all the people who wants to apply to this scholarship, Vienna University and Ziarul Financiar. As Adriana mentioned, we give 7 scholarship, okay? and good luck.
Thank you
Adriana,
for
Phillip,
having us.
Thank you for
all the
having us.
best.
Thank you.
Cam atât a fost prima discuție de astăzi. Luăm minutul ZF și ne întoarcem partea a doua. Care sunt planurile de dezvoltare și de extindere a rețelei Magnor? Este un rebranding al rețelei Credit Amanet.
La 23 de ani, Dan Nicolae a decis să aleagă calea antreprenoriatului și a deschis o florărie pe calea moșilor din capitală, fără a avea o pasiune pentru flori la acel moment. După câteva piedici și câștiguri, a descoperit farmecul domeniului și acum, 17 ani mai târziu, conduce o afacere care a ajuns anul trecut la o cifră de afaceri de 4,8 milioane de lei. Am înțeles în ultimul an cât de importante sunt menținerea investițiilor și răbdarea în piața de capital și că investitorii activi pot beneficia de oportunități de pe urma comportamentelor iraționale de pe piața bursieră. Ce ar mai putea învăța 3 investitori de retail străini în 2024 și la ce aspecte sunt atenți în acest an profund electoral? Am face bine să rămânem vigilenți, consideră unul dintre ei. De la o activitate de nișă, e-sportul sau sportul electronic a evoluat până a ajuns un fenomen cu o prezență semnificativă în cultura și industria jocurilor video din România. Ce soluții există însă pentru a se dezvolta în continuare și în ce condiții poate fi practicat corespunzător? Cu peste un deceniu de experiență pe piața serviciilor de proprietate industrială, Agenția de Proprietate Industrială specializată în protecția drepturilor de proprietate intelectuală Rom Patent Design a asistat la toate schimbările majore din legislație survenite de-a lungul timpului, dar și la cele de detaliu, care au însă un impact uriaș asupra business-urilor. Mihai Betelie, executivul din fruntea companiei, evidențiază cum poate deveni marca înregistrată o adevărată mină de aur. Citiți despre toate aceste subiecte, dar și despre multe altele în cel mai nou număr al Business Magazine.